Joining me now to discuss, Senior Director of the Foundation for Defense of Democracies, retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery. Good morning to you. Special Envoy Witkoff meeting with Putin's economic advisor as Zelensky meets with EU leaders. This is what NATO's Secretary General Mark Rutte said this week about where things stand.
When it comes to Ukraine, the president deciding to send weapons again to Ukraine, but paid for by allies. We are working very hard on that project. The first couple of billion of weapons already shipped into Ukraine from the US, paid for by allies. And of course, Europeans stepping up when it comes to security assurances for Ukraine post a long-term ceasefire or peace deal. But of course, we all pray for that to happen soon.
Do you think that Europe is preparing for a post-war Ukraine, or does it expect this conflict to just keep going? And what can Europe do to really improve Ukraine's defense?
Well, yeah, thanks for having me. And you got to pull both these stories together. One is, it is a big deal that President Trump is imposing sanctions on the two largest oil firms in Russia. This will impact millions of barrels of oil a day. And why that matters is that is how President Putin finances his war machine. So if the U.S. and Europe properly implement these sanctions, and Europe continues to cut off its use of Russian oil, natural gas, fossil fuels, then they can knock another $80 billion a year off of the Russian war machine. That really matters. So if you take that and you combine it with what Secretary Rutte said, which is getting the right weapons to Ukraine, then I think we are in a position where Europe can plan for a future Ukraine that has some kind of ceasefire with Russia.
So Trump just spoke about this this week. Let's take a listen to what he said.
Look, these are tremendous sanctions. These are very big. Those are against their two big oil companies, and we hope that they won't be on for long. We hope that the war will be settled.
Now, most of Moscow's money comes from taxes, not exports. So will this move actually hurt Russia's war funding?
These are, as he might say, big, beautiful sanctions. If implemented right, they both reduce a significant chunk. You're right about taxes, but I would say another 35 to 40% come from these Russian exports. And Putin has to fund two things. 40% of his budget goes to the military, and about 60% goes to keeping his base happy. If you can take away a big chunk of money, Putin has a tough choice. So President Trump is right. If properly implemented, these sanctions, plus a European agreement to cut back its oil and natural gas take from Russia, because there's still a few countries doing it, those two combined can really put a bite on Vladimir Putin's warfighting capability.
Okay. Let's turn now to Israel. In an interview this week, Trump warned that Israel could lose U.S. support if it annexes West Bank. Now, how serious is that threat, and what would the implications be there?
I think this was a poorly timed vote in the Knesset by the far right, and it was inappropriate. Here's the United States stepping in, helping resolve this conflict. They've made it really clear they don't want this vote. And then for political kind of, the equivalent of partisan purposes in the United States, the vote's taken. It had no chance of winning. You could see Vice President Vance handled this perfectly. He said, look, I don't like this vote. I get why they did it. It was stupid, and we won't support it. And I think that's a pretty direct answer.
Okay. The UN also pushing Israel to open more crossings and get more aid into the territory. What are we likely to see happen next?
Here's where I listen to Secretary Rubio. I mean, he said it right. We're not going to use UNRWA again, the United Nations, UNRWA, and that's because they were compromised during the last 15 to 20 years of Hamas rule, and maybe anyone would have been compromised, but they certainly were. What Rubio's saying is you've got to get it to other UN organizations to run this. I think once that happens, you'll see the opening of these gates. I think Israel's going to be in trouble on this too. They're demanding the complete disarmament of Hamas. I think it's going to be very hard to get small arms out of the equation. They can probably get rockets and mortars out of the equation. So there's probably room in here for a little bit of concessions and consensus to get the solution. But Secretary Rubio described it about right in terms of who's going to deliver that aid.
All right. Retired U.S. Navy Rear Admiral Mark Montgomery, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Have a great weekend.